Most people think getting ahead with money has to look dramatic. A huge raise, a perfect investment, a side hustle that suddenly takes off, or some genius money move that changes everything overnight. But for most Canadians, wealth does not usually arrive like fireworks. It arrives quietly. It shows up in small decisions that repeat every paycheck. A little less debt, a little more saved, a bill that no longer surprises you, an investment contribution that happens automatically before you even think about spending it. And the funny part is, these habits can look boring from the outside, but boring is often where the magic is. Because when money feels chaotic, the goal is not to become perfect. The goal is to build a system that helps future you breathe a little easier. So in this video, let's talk about the quiet money habits that help Canadians slowly build wealth without extreme budgeting, without shame, and without pretending life in Canada is cheap. This is general educational information only, not personal financial, tax, legal, or investment advice. Your situation may be different, so always check your own numbers and speak with a qualified professional when needed. Here's the problem most people know too well. Your paycheck comes in. For a few seconds, everything feels okay. Then rent or the mortgage hits. Groceries happen. The phone bill comes out. The credit card needs a payment. Car insurance says hello. And somehow, the money starts disappearing before you even make a real decision. It is not always because you're careless. A lot of Canadian households are dealing with high fixed costs. Housing, food, transportation, insurance, utilities, debt payments, and subscriptions can take a big bite before the month even begins. So the first mindset shift is this. Getting ahead is not only about earning more. It's about reducing the number of decisions your tired brain has to make. Because when every dollar is floating around in one account, your brain has to keep asking, can I afford this? But when your money already has a job, the answer becomes clearer. Before your paycheck disappears into the fog, give it a simple job, not a complicated spreadsheet job, a real-life job. Some money is for bills, some is for groceries, some is for debt, some is for saving, some is for investing. And yes, some is for enjoying your life. Because a budget that has no fun in it usually does not survive contact with real Canadian life. Think of your paycheck like a group of people walking into a busy airport. If nobody knows where they are going, everyone just wanders around. But if each dollar has a gate, a destination, and a purpose, things feel calmer. For example, imagine you get paid $2,500. Before spending randomly, you might mentally divide it. Rent or mortgage, bills, groceries, minimum debt payments, savings, investing, personal spending. The numbers will be different for everyone. The point is not the perfect percentage. The point is that your money gets direction before life gets noisy. This one habit can turn money from a mystery into a plan. One of the most powerful quiet habits is saving before the month starts shouting at you. Because later in the month, everything feels urgent. The car needs gas, your friend wants to meet for dinner, a school cost pops up, groceries cost more than expected, and suddenly saving feels like something you will do next paycheck. But next paycheck has its own problems. That is why paying yourself first works so well as a habit. It means treating saving like a bill you owe your future self, even if it starts small. $20, $50, $100. The amount matters less than the automatic rhythm, because once the habit is built, the amount can grow later. And this is where Canadians sometimes underestimate small money. $50 per paycheck may not feel life-changing, but it is not just $50. It is proof that you are building a system, and once the system exists, you can use it for an emergency fund, a future goal, a TFSA contribution, an RRSP contribution, or a down payment fund. The habit comes first. The bigger numbers come later. The next habit is simple, but most people avoid it. Check your money once a week, not every 5 minutes, not only when something feels wrong, just once a week, calmly. Pick one day, maybe Sunday evening, maybe payday morning, maybe Friday before the weekend starts spending your money for you. Open your accounts and check 4 things. What came in, what went out, what bills are coming, And is anything slowly leaking money? This is not about judging yourself. It is about removing surprises, because money stress often comes from not knowing. A weekly check-in turns the lights on. You might notice a subscription you forgot, a grocery pattern that changed, a credit card balance growing quietly, or a bill that's coming next week, not next month. The win here is not perfection. The win is awareness. And awareness is powerful because it gives you time to adjust before a small problem becomes a bigger one. Some expenses are not really emergencies, they're just irregular. Car insurance, property tax, holiday spending, back-to-school costs, annual subscriptions, new winter tires, a family trip, a vet bill. These things can feel like ambushes because they do not happen every week, but if they happen every year, they're not surprises. They are future bills. So the quiet habit is to turn big bills into monthly bills. Let's say you usually spend around $1,200 a year on a predictable annual cost. Instead of panicking when it arrives, divide it by 12. That is $100 a month. Now the bill is not gone, but it is less scary. You're not waiting for a financial thunderstorm. You're filling a bucket slowly before the rain comes. This is one of the most underrated ways to feel more in control, because getting ahead is not only about making more money. Sometimes it's about making fewer things feel like emergencies. Now let's talk about spending, not in a judgmental way, because spending is not the enemy. Life costs money. Joy costs money. Convenience costs money. The problem is when spending becomes automatic. A sale pops up, a delivery app is open, a limited time offer appears, and your brain says, "We deserve this." Sometimes you do, but sometimes future you would prefer the money. That is where the 24-hour pause helps. For non-urgent purchases, wait one day. Put it in the cart, walk away. Come back tomorrow. If you still want it and it fits your plan, fine. But often, the feeling fades. This habit works because it does not say never spend. It just gives your brain time to cool down. And in a world designed to make Canadians spend quickly, a small pause is a quiet form of power. A tax refund can feel exciting. It lands in your account and for a moment it feels like bonus money from Ottawa. But here is a better way to look at it. A refund is a chance to make one move that your regular monthly cash flow may not allow. Maybe that means paying down part of a high-interest balance. Maybe it means starting or topping up an emergency fund. Maybe it means setting aside money for an annual bill. Maybe it means contributing to a registered account if it fits your situation. The key is not that every dollar must be serious. The key is to decide before the refund arrives. Because money without a plan usually becomes money with a receipt. A simple rule could be this: some for progress, some for breathing room, and maybe some for enjoyment. That way, the refund doesn't just disappear, it becomes part of the quiet system. Now, let's bring in investing. A lot of Canadians delay investing because they think they need to understand everything first. Every account, every fund, every market cycle, every financial term. But waiting until investing feels perfect can become its own trap. You do not need to become an expert overnight. A better first goal is to understand the basics safely. What is the money for? When might you need it? How much risk can you emotionally handle? Are you using the right type of account? Are you diversified instead of betting everything on one idea? This is not about chasing hot stocks. It is about building a habit. Even a small automatic investment contribution can teach you how the system feels. The goal is not to impress anyone. The goal is to let time and consistency do some of the heavy lifting. And yes, investing involves risk. Markets go up and down. You can lose money. That is why it matters to learn, diversify, and avoid putting short-term money into long-term risk. But for long-term goals, investing can be one of the quiet habits that helps Canadians build wealth over time. Boring investing does not make exciting dinner conversation. Nobody says, "Guess what? I made an automatic contribution to a diversified portfolio again." But that is exactly why it can work. Because exciting investing often makes people emotional. They chase what went up. They panic when it goes down. They switch strategies too often. They confuse entertainment with wealth building. Boring investing is different. It says, pick a sensible plan, keep costs in mind, diversify, contribute regularly, think long-term. Do not let every headline control your behavior. The boring plan is not flashy, but it is repeatable, and repeatable matters more than dramatic. Think of it like shoveling snow. One scoop does not clear the driveway, but if you keep going, suddenly the path appears. Investing can feel similar. One contribution may look tiny, but many contributions over many years can slowly change the picture. That is quiet wealth building. Now let's talk about registered accounts. In Canada, accounts like the TFSA, RRSP, and FHSA can be useful, but they are not all the same. And this is where people can get confused. A TFSA is not only a savings account. Depending on the type of TFSA you open, it can hold different kinds of investments. An RRSP is often used for retirement savings, and it can offer tax advantages, but withdrawals are generally taxable later. An FHSA is designed to help eligible first-time homebuyers save for a qualifying first home within the program's rules and limits, but the account is only the container. The real question is, what is the purpose? Short-term emergency money probably should not be treated the same as long-term retirement money. A first home goal is different from a retirement goal. A low-income year may be different from a high-income year. So instead of asking which account is best, ask best for what? That question alone can save a lot of confusion. And before contributing, always check your own room, limits, and rules through CRA, your Notice of Assessment, or your financial institution. Here is where people get discouraged. They expect progress to feel obvious. But at first, it may not. Your emergency fund may still look small. Your investment account may move up and down. Your debt may shrink slowly. Your budget may still need adjusting. That does not mean it is not working. It means you are in the boring middle. And the boring middle is where most financial progress happens. So instead of only tracking your paycheck, track your direction. Is your debt slowly going down? Is your savings cushion slowly growing? Are you investing more consistently than last year? Are fewer bills surprising you? Are you checking your money without panic? That is progress, not perfection. You are not trying to win money in 1 month. You're trying to become the kind of person with a system, and systems are what carry you when motivation disappears. So here's the quiet progress rule. You do not need to fix your entire financial life at once. You need one habit that makes the next habit easier. Give your paycheck a job. Save before life gets loud. Check your money once a week. Make big bills predictable. Pause before emotional purchases. Use refunds for progress. Start investing before it feels perfect. Use registered accounts with a purpose. And track direction, not perfection. None of these habits look dramatic, but together they can change how money feels. Less chaotic, less mysterious, less like something that keeps happening to you, and more like something you are slowly learning to guide. That is how many Canadians get ahead. Not loudly, quietly. One paycheck, one habit, one better decision at a time. If this video helped, subscribe to New Canadian Wallet for simple Canadian money explainers without the confusing jargon. And comment below, what is one quiet money habit you want to build this year?